Hey everyone, in my last video, a lot of you asked, how did you actually make this dashboard? So today I'm going to show you the entire process from getting your data out of ChatGPT, looking at the raw JSON, and all the way to creating a live visualization of your identity. We're going to talk about something deeper. What are you actually importing? Is it memories? Is it signal? What is it? So let's dive in. So some of the questions I was getting in both Reddit and on the video here is essentially how to not pollute the new LLM that you are bringing your data into. So if you're moving from ChatGPT to Claude or vice versa or another one, how do you not bring the dumb stuff and the wasted arguments and things that you don't really want to carry over? And also, how do you ensure on the opposite spectrum that you're bringing the stuff you do want, the personality or the important information? And so I think I went through everything kind of fast in the last video, and I want to take a little bit more time to address each of those things. So the goal isn't to make Claude be ChatGPT. The goal is to give whichever model, LLM, coding harness that you're bringing your data over, is to give it more context about you. I think it's important to know, you have the LLM, you have the harness, and then you have you. And you, in your conversations with the model, are essentially downloading parts of your mind, your tastes, your preferences, and your vibe, and creating essentially like a digital twin. And then that gets combined with the personality that the model inherently has, the system prompt that the harness is adding into the mix, and that creates the personality of ChatGPT or the personality of Claude or Gemini or whatever. And so it's this interesting combination of you and the model interacting that is the experience that we have when we're interacting with the chatbot. And so what we want to do is try to get as much signal and filter out the noise. And I think it's important to do it in a few different phases. One is you want the full stack. You want everything. I'm going to actually show you what that looks like. So if you notice here, this is my ChatGPT entire download. Every audio conversation I've ever had with it is here in a WAV file. Every image I've generated is here. And every conversation is also here in a JSON file. And what does that really look like? Let's take a look. I opened it up in Cursor. It is a gigantic mess. If I just scroll through, like this is tens of thousands of lines. Let's see, it's like almost 200,000 lines of JSON. And in it includes my actual question to ChatGPT and probably its response. These lines are so long, so I haven't really fully parsed, but I'm assuming that somewhere in here is ChatGPT's response. So having that is a backup. I'm not saying that you should really mess with that too much. There's a lot of cool things you could do using something like Claude Code command line or downloading Claude Code onto your desktop so that it has access to your actual file system. But I'm going to show you guys something even easier and quicker. We want to export the full data set. And just as a revision, when you do the memory import that Claude recommends, it gives you a super tiny prompt and it just gives you some very basic memories. It's not good enough. I ask and created a prompt, which is again going to be in the comments or the description below, that will give you a bigger JSON export, something that looks more like this. And this is going to be a deeper level, something in between the memories and in between the gigantic export. If you need help getting to here, you just go to your settings and you go to your data controls and then you export data. And then it's going to take a little while, like a couple days. And then eventually they'll give you a download. So I already went over that in the last video. I don't want to go into it too much. But this is how I took the JSON that ChatGPT exports and created this really cool identity dashboard. You're going to get a JSON file, something like this, if you use the prompts I gave you. And we're gonna actually create this again. So what I will do is I'm gonna copy this first part, and the prompt I gave you will actually give you everything. but you're going to come over into, I'm going to use Claude for this. So I'm going to create a new chat. And this is all I really said here is help me visualize this data. It wasn't some complex prompt. The prompt I'm giving you all is going to be a little bit more structured based on my work with it, but you don't have to do anything too crazy to make something cool. I'm going to paste this JSON in and I'm going to say, I am exporting data from ChatGPT. I want you to help me build a simple identity dashboard from the JSON. Super simple. And I'm going to grab, so this is the first part of it. And then ChatGPT actually was like, do you want to do another one that's just your ideas and frameworks? So as someone who is, I'm a philosopher, I'm a builder, I'm a thinker and a creative. And so I'm always coming up with new ideas. So I want all of those ideas and frameworks that I've codified to be exported as well. And then the third thing, turn all of this into a tagged knowledge graph with nodes and relationships. This is really powerful. So, and again, this is not just ChatGPT or Claude specific. You can have any LLM do this with your data. So I'm going to paste that in as well. So I'm going to try one that is, I'm going to give it as little direction as possible and we'll look at the result. And then we can also maybe look at what happens if you give it more direction. What is the goal of this? I want to understand myself better and be able to take action on my best ideas and conversations, or because I'm not really importing conversations, so we'll just say best ideas and insights. Okay, so build a simple, healthy dashboard. Okay, it will understand that we want it to make what Claude calls an artifact. An artifact is like a little web page app within the Claude Code universe. Now, if you don't have Claude Code, you have something like Cursor, or you have Gemini, you could have it, you can just specify, make me a single HTML and CSS JavaScript dashboard. What that'll do is it'll give you a single HTML file that you can download and open up in your browser. And if you don't know HTML, if you don't know programming, don't be afraid. Just ask it that, make me a single page HTML, CSS, JavaScript dashboard. It will make you a single file with your data that you can open. Now, this is in real time, so I'll probably cut here to save you guys some time, and we'll take a look at the visualization that it makes afterwards. Okay, so here it is. It hard-coded all the data from the JSON, and it put together, I wonder if these open. Oh, cool, these open too. So it's even showing me like where different projects are. It made a knowledge graph. This is so cool. Oh man, that's so cool. Look at this. This is so cool, guys. This is, you can do this with your data. You don't need to know coding. Overextension risk? Interesting. Here. Enables. So see, it's showing which things enable which projects. So this is a very interesting thing to map out how your life and projects connect to each other and the dependencies. Let's take a look at skills. Action Center. Fascinating. I mean, this is just so interesting to me because it's not immediately apparent looking at your ChatGPT history that you're going to find all this stuff. But looking at this, it pulls out insights, right? So you could go in here and you could give it adjustments. I mean, the first one it made, I think is even more beautiful. I probably gave it a little bit of pushing, and was like use transparent backgrounds and all that. But this is also very, very cool and very useful. So I hope that helps. I think the last thing I wanted to share is just this idea that, let's see, I want to find a good screen to pause on that's not revealing all of my private information. We can do, God, it's so scary sharing screens. Okay. So this is a little infographic I made with Gemini talking about the evolution of where we are in technology. And it's pretty relevant to this conversation in this video. What is your data with ChatGPT? the LLM is a prediction machine. It is predicting the next set of what is called tokens. So you put in a question and it looks at that question and then it predicts what the response should be based on that question and all of its training data. On top of that, you have a harness, which is a coded deterministic mechanism that kind of reins in. You could almost think of it of a bridle on a horse, right? It's a way to steer the model and keep it on track and use that prediction mechanism towards the end user's goal. Then on top of that, you have the human, and you have all of your thoughts and ideas, your writing, your audio, if you're putting that in, any images, you have the data input from the human. And in a way, you could think of it as like a magic journal. You're writing into this journal, you're downloading your ideas and thoughts into it. It's then mixing with the LLM and the harness, and then it's predicting an output based on that. And so you get this slightly distorted but very powerful reflection of yourself on the cloud, on the, whether it's OpenAI's ChatGPT or Anthropic's Claude or Gemini, whatever. And so it's not that they're true memories about you. They are saved tokens, saved arrays of tokens that are holding information about you that you can then manipulate with code. And you do not need to know code, as I've showed here. You just need to have a tool that you can import into. So we used JSON files, which is just a very structured form of plain English text. We also use the artifact builder in Claude Code, which is making a little web app. It's using React components, which is a app building framework, but you could have just as easily used a pure HTML file. In fact, I think the second one that it made, no, it is a React component. We could have asked, can you make a sample pure HTML plus CSS plus JavaScript version? I'm not going to do that, but we can do that and then download that HTML file and open it up in your browser, and you'll get a nice page that you can interact with. So all of that to say that I feel it is more important than ever to own your data. And if you're going to be pouring your heart and soul into your AI and all of your work and all your ideas, regularly pull it back out. Regularly take control of your data and use it. Don't just let it sit there. And I'm going to be talking more about this in future videos. I am working on launching a pay what you want membership site where you'll be getting first access to these ideas and frameworks and prompts as they come out. And it's completely pay what you want, meaning you can join it for free, or you can chip in a few bucks if you want, if you're resonating with the work. And I'm really excited to get that launched. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Leave a comment below if you try this. If you feel open to sharing a link of your identity dashboard, I would love to see it. I'm sure other people would too. Just make sure that you're not leaking any of your sensitive private information. And I really appreciate you all taking time to watch this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.